Let me tell you a story about a young woman from Nigeria named Josephine. It's a tale that's both tragic and a powerful reminder for all of us. After finishing secondary school, Josephine felt like she had finally made it. No more exams, no more teachers, and no real plans for the future. So, she decided to fill her newfound freedom with what she called enjoyment. Her days and nights blurred into one long stream of online chats. She was talking to multiple boys at once, jumping from one digital conversation to the next. If one relationship ended, there was always another guy waiting in her DMs. This constant chase for attention became her new routine, and sleep. Sleep was something she did only when she absolutely had to. Night after night, she'd stay awake until the sun threatened to rise, completely lost in her phone. She thought she was having the time of her life, but slowly, without her even noticing, the fun started turning into fatigue. Her body was sending signals, but she was too distracted to listen. Then came the headaches. At first, they were just annoying, like any normal headache. She went to the hospital, and the doctors gave her some medicine, telling her she'd be fine. She took the pills as prescribed, but the pain didn't go away. In fact, it got worse. It became a throbbing, relentless ache that started to affect her thinking and her mood. She wasn't herself anymore. Her family, now deeply worried, rushed her back to the hospital. The doctors ran a battery of tests, trying to figure out what was wrong. The final diagnosis was a shock to everyone: chronic stress. How could this be? Josephine wasn't working. She wasn't studying. She had no obvious burdens or responsibilities. From the outside, her life looked completely carefree. Her parents sat her down and started asking the hard questions. When do you actually go to sleep, Josephine? Why are you always awake so late? What are you doing online all night, every night? With no more energy to hide, she told them the truth. She explained how she spent her nights talking to boys online, juggling conversations, and constantly seeking validation. Her mind and body were never given a moment to rest, to recharge. She was running on an empty tank, fueled only by fleeting digital attention. But by then, it was too late. The damage was done. The stress had spiraled into something the doctors couldn't control. What began as harmless chatting and enjoying life had morphed into a severe, chronic illness. An illness that, tragically, ended up taking her life. And after she was gone, life just moved on. The boys she had dedicated all her time and energy to they moved on too. They continued with their lives, their studies, their own futures, as if Josephine had never even existed. None of them shared the terrible price she paid. She was the only one who faced the ultimate consequence. Josephine's story is a heartbreaking one, but it carries some incredibly important lessons that we should all take to heart. First, a life without purpose can lead to destruction. When you don't have a clear goal or something meaningful to work towards, it's so easy to get pulled into distractions that do more harm than good. Josephine had no direction, so she filled that void with anything that gave her a momentary thrill, without considering the long-term cost. Second, rest is not a luxury, it's essential. You might feel young and invincible, like you can run on just a few hours of sleep, but you can't. Your body and your mind need time to repair and recover. Neglecting sleep is like driving a car without ever changing the oil. Eventually, the engine will break down. For Josephine, her engine was her own health. Third, stress doesn't only come from a demanding job or heavy responsibilities. Emotional turmoil, the constant need for social validation, and mental exhaustion are just as dangerous, if not more so. Josephine wasn't lifting heavy boxes, she was carrying a heavy emotional and mental load every single night, and it crushed her. Fourth, online attention is cheap and fleeting, but the consequences of chasing it can be permanent. The people you talk to online today might forget you tomorrow. They have their own lives to live, but your health, your well-being, your one and only life that doesn't have a reset button. You are responsible for protecting it. And finally, enjoyment without self-discipline is a dangerous game. Freedom is a wonderful thing, but freedom without any boundaries can lead to devastating regret. True enjoyment comes from a balanced life, one that includes fun, but also purpose, rest, and self-care. Josephine's story is a stark warning. The pursuit of pleasure without wisdom can come at a very high price. Sometimes, that price is everything. Let's learn from her story. Let's choose purpose over distraction, rest over exhaustion, and real life over fleeting online validation. Take care of yourselves, because you are irreplaceable. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that matter.